Look what I've got. I have the new, the good and the beautiful level 5. Let's look inside and see what changes they have made from level 4. But more interesting to me than just, how they combined it into one book is how does the good and the beautiful teach the writing? Let's look at this. Hey guys, my name is Rachel and I am a homeschool mom of 7 years going on 8. And my second child this year did the good and the beautiful level 4. It was pretty good. I was not a fan of how it teaches the writing though, but I love so many other things. So for this year, I bought the good and the beautiful level 5 and I plan to customize it. So make sure you're subscribed if you want to see what the heck is she talking about. So this is the level 4. Please comment below if anybody else has a child like this. Look at how, I have a girl. This is like what you expect a boy's materials to look like. But no, this is my daughter. Her writing book doesn't look quite as damaged. But so for level 4, there were 2 books here. They're both very thick if you can't tell. And I have to say, I like this update. This is definitely thicker than one of these books, but having it combined is so nice because I did not enjoy us flipping back and forth. Like, okay, where's your challenging spelling word list that I need to look at? Oh, it's in this book, it's not in this book. And what's in this book that I need to refer to? Going back and forth. I like that these are combined because also there's the potential of losing one of the books or misplacing it. I guess there's the potential of misplacing this book too, but speaking of misplacing, let me just throw this out there. The fact that they have free downloads of this also came in so handy this year because we did buy the literature for level 4. My daughter lost one of the readers. I had downloaded level 4 and she continued her reading on the computer until we found the book. Super, super handy. So the looks inside are very much the same. You got your lesson number up here. They're pretty much the same in my opinion. They're just combined now. Pictures, quality and all of that, the page quality. So they say, this is book bound now. I think they did that because so many people were having issues with this falling off the binding. So that's a great improvement. I think you have to break the binding a little bit and it looks as though you can also, looks like they're perforated too, so you could even rip the pages out if you just want to work on a few pages at a time. And then same thing for the art. So this, another reason why this book is not as thick as both of these books is they've removed a few pages for the art because they have the art separate. Level 5 has this watercolor instruction book and they give you, so here's just some of the projects here. But your child is not going to be freehanding all of this on their own. They have these watercolor templates to use. So it's that big X project, the lighthouse project, the sea turtle. So they've got a place to start from before starting their watercolor. So that's really nice too that I don't have to go out and buy this paper. It's already here, very, very thick. It's thicker than cardstock. And this book, if she did become really good at freehanding, we've got this nice instruction manual that we could put with our art books rather than it being, mixed into here. See, like right here, she had to freehand the apple and then chalk pastel it in, working with light here. But all of this instruction was right there inside her grammar book. Okay, so for the writing instruction, this is what it says it's going to cover. Alliteration, basic essay outline, being a light in writing, comparative essay, comparing and contrasting dialogue, essay writing, okay, writing and editing story. Let's just take a look at what this approach is. So if you're unfamiliar with the good and the beautiful, it will have some sort of grammar lesson every week. They're starting sentence dictation with level 5. They'll have picture studies, geography, but for the writing and spelling, they kind of alternate between spelling one day and writing the next day. So the first writing workshop in here has to do with the book that they're reading. So I am not going to be reading this literature. I'm going to have to think about how exactly I'm going to customize this, so stay tuned for that video because I'm going to share it with. So right here they're talking about writing with spectacular bears, how to rewrite a sentence in your own words, how to write an opening paragraph. It says to write this, and then you finish the paragraph with where the bear lives, where it eats. Here's some facts you can use. And then conclude your paragraph with this. So it's having them copy their intro and conclusion of that paragraph. Next lesson, learning from the masters. This talks about personification and similes, kind of just introducing, and then identifying the difference between personification and simile here, and that's their workshop. Be interesting to see how they tie this back in later. Then we've got writing thank you notes, how to write a proper thank you note. Okay, next we've got writing about Patagonia. So this is writing a short paragraph about animal life in the country, in the area of Patagonia. So again, here's the original sentence, here's how to rewrite it. Copy these opening sentences, finish the paragraph, conclude, here's paragraphs, or here's facts you can use. Okay, so already I'm like, I suppose what they're teaching is that you need an intro and a conclusion, just use these and fill in. So I suppose that's what the child's learning. Rewriting a sentence, this is the part that confused my daughter because sure, she can look at these sentences and see a difference here, but how do you rewrite it? So this is where I've mentioned before that IEW is very different because you can see they started this sentence with an ing opener. IEW would actually teach you, here's how you write ing openers. Here's how you write adverb openers. Here's how you write prepositional openers. And then for each of their writing assignments, you would practice adding that particular thing in there, but they're teaching you how. The good and the beautiful is just saying, here's differences, make sure you change it up. But I don't feel like they're really teaching you how. Now, I have heard people say before, oh, you become a great writer from reading great literature. I do not disagree with that at all, but what if your child is not a reader, right? Not every child is a devourer of books. Not every child is going to be drawn to great literature. So we still have to teach them. You can't just say, oh, just throw a bunch of books in your child's repertoire and they'll just automatically become great writers. The other thing is my own mother is a devourer of books. She loves to read, but she would not consider herself a good writer either. She has trouble expressing herself. So there is, some people are just natural writers and some people are not. And some people can be natural writers from reading and other people just aren't. So I don't think you can just depend on reading great literature and automatically know how to express yourself. Okay, so this one, learning from the masters again, how to use alliteration. So it's just introducing alliteration. All right, now we're writing paragraphs again. So it's the exact same thing that they're teaching before. There's more practice with the exact same technique, which is just, here, copy this opening sentence and the conclusion and fill in the middle. Learning from the masters, studying the painting, write an uninteresting sentence about the painting, and then on the blank lines, then rewrite the sentence into multiple sentences that bring the scene to life. Okay, but how? How do you do that? Okay, writing from the heart, the painting below, finish the paragraph with your own ideas and style. Well, what's style? This is the type of thing, again, that IEW teaches. Here are style techniques. The Good and the Beautiful isn't teaching this. Try to write in a way that shows people your heart and about how things feel, sound, and smell. Again, what if you have trouble expressing your own thoughts? We need some techniques here. We need some style. How do you write with style? This is very ambiguous instruction. Learning from the masters again, talking about similes and interjections, how to add those in, and then you're done with Unit 1. Okay, so in Unit 2, we're going to do alliteration, comparative essay, so this is what we're going to look at. Thesis statement, very important. Topic sentence, very important. Let's see how they teach transitional words here. So learning from the masters again. So I know why they're doing this. They're saying, here's some techniques, but they're not reminding them to put them in practice. So then you're depending on the child to say, hey, I should add personification here, which is another reason why I like IEW, because there are checklists that will remind you and prompt you for those things. All right, so comparing and contrasting. Let's see, read this essay, and then you're answering these questions. They've got, what is the outline here? So this is just comparing and contrasting summer and winter. They're talking about topic sentence is at the beginning of every paragraph and explains the main idea. Transitions, first, also, in addition, let's start with establish logical connections. Maybe it's because this is technically supposed to be 5th grade level, which according to whose standard, but my point is maybe they're only introducing these ideas because they're like, well, this is a 5th grader though. I don't feel like it's really teaching writing. Maybe that's not what their point is, to teach writing. Maybe they're just trying to get them used to writing and saying, hey, here's some ideas, but do whatever you want. But mechanics wise, this is very loose. I don't know how else to describe it. All right, I'm gonna skip ahead. Writing from the heart, personification, alliteration, and simile. Study the painting on the next page, then write 3 descriptive sentences about the painting, starting each one with a prepositional phrase. So this, yes, this is teaching how. So this is good. Here are your prepositions. These are the phrases that you should start with. This is one type of opener. So I like this. Personification, alliteration, simile, they're finding it in this paragraph and underlining it. So that's good. Okay, I like this. Writing workshop, writing a comparative essay. This essay will be typed. Title your essay as follows. So they're using their literature here, Chico and Gabriel. This says you're going to write your essay in a unique and fun way, hopefully not too overwhelming. Okay, well, if it won't be that overwhelming if they give good instructions here. Read the opening paragraph below, underline the opening technique of each paragraph, then circle your favorite opening. On your page, type the opening paragraph you circled. Okay, so this writing this essay is a process. So this is just the first step, which is why it says part 1. Part 2, write a boring sentence which describes something in the painting below. Now rewrite the description into multiple sentences that are packed with great description. See, again, but how? Like, give me an example. What do you mean by great description? How do I show my personality? Is anybody else seeing what I'm seeing? Please leave me a comment below if you understand what I'm saying about not every child being able to do this. Part 3, again, exact same assignment. Copy this body paragraph, write from your heart. Okay, well, I can tell you my son would have, especially in 5th grade, 6th grade, I don't know, he would be like, what? What do you mean, write from my heart? What does that mean? Okay, now our Unit 3 is done. I think you guys are getting the gist here of how this is taught. I think if you have a child who's okay, who's a good writer, they could take these vague instructions and run with it. But if you have a child who's a struggling writer, I think this is really vague. So I think maybe it just depends on how confident you are as a teacher to teach this. Rewriting awkward, wordy sentences. So they're just taking a sentence that they say is awkward and they're rewriting it. See how it's different? Especially because this is supposed to be independent learning, okay? Mom is supposed to not necessarily be that involved. So also keep that in mind, right? This to me looks like mom's still gonna have to be involved a lot to explain all of this. Like, what did they do to make this different? What if the child can see it, but they don't know how to translate that into their own writing? This is just talking about not being, being a light in your writing in terms of good character, good quality, like don't be vulgar, don't be rude, don't have bad attitudes in your writing. Learning from the masters, again, learning a technique, adding in descriptions that use one or more colors. Like, this is why, to me, like, this is kind of vague. Like, what do you mean? How do I add colors into his daughter laughed? Purpley? If this is all just about getting them to use their imagination, I guess. But this is why I chose the writing program that I chose, because the program that I chose is all about imagination, and then I'm going to help my child with some of these mechanics because I'm confident enough in my abilities to do that. But these are telling them what to write about, also not giving very clear instructions on how to improve your writing style and all this. Okay, preparing to write hymn lyrics, that's interesting. So this is teaching about brainstorming before they want them to write their own hymn, but they got to talk about brainstorming. So these are good. This is a good technique to know. I have no issue with that. I think that's really good to start. I also think, brainstorming is difficult for some children. So which is why IEW would say you learn to write by rewriting other people's works, and IEW teaches you to rewrite sentences by using keyword outlines. I haven't seen anything like that in here about keyword outlines. Now take out the brainstorming ideas you did in lesson 50, give your hymn a title, use the ideas and phrases words from below, have a consistent rhyme scheme. Yeah, I don't know. I still think this is really hard. Writing a book review, talking about plot. Okay, so I am using the Brave Writer next year for my child. I'm probably going to cut out most of these writing assignments. If you want to see what we're using, check out this video right here where I show you how different it is, the writing projects. If you want to learn about IEW, which I also think is a phenomenal program, check out this video right here. This Good and the Beautiful writing instruction is not going to work for me. Until next time, bye.